8 minutes after 9 o'clock. It is the second to last Bob Rivers Show on 95.7 KJR. You can see this gentleman live on Northwest Cable News. His name is Cisco Morris. Cisco is a friend of mine. I have to say this, Cisco. First off, thank you for coming in.
Oh la la! It's really, I'm very honored, beyond Tweedle even, to be on one of your last shows. This is really cool.
Oh, it's my honor. And if someone had told me 25 years ago that one of the side effects of coming to Seattle would be that I'd come to love gardening, and that I would come to like crave more knowledge about it, and that I'd like one of the coolest things for me would be a Saturday morning gardening show, I would have thought they were high, or that I was going to grow something to get myself high.
One of us is high.
But as it turns out, these certain things you get to really appreciate, and putting some dirt in your hands and making something, and even if it cost you $10 by the time you get that head of lettuce, it's your head of lettuce.
You just said it perfect right there.
Yeah. And there's no one in this town, no one people look up to more, first off, for your bright warmth and caring and sunny disposition than you, Cisco Morris.
Oh, la la.
You're one of those people I wanted to say thank you for.
Oh, well, thanks. And I share your love for gardening so much, because once you get into it, it's got to be the most fun thing there is in life.
What is it about it? Because it's funny. I look at something and I want it to grow, and I come back a few days later and it feels like it's magic. Is it the magic of life that we're experiencing? What is it? Because it seems that big.
Well, it's that connection to the earth in the first place that I think we all need. And it's really neat to me right now, because more kids are getting into it again. For so long. For quite a while there, kids just didn't do any gardening. They lost that connection. And so I think it's the connection to the earth and that magic of being able to put a seed in the ground, watch it grow. Holy cats,
Holy
that's
man.
so cool.
Yeah. I've noticed commercially out there, in order to get plants, you used to have to go to like a nursery. You used to have to there were just a couple places that would sell plants. Now it feels like everybody sells plants.
Yeah,
have you watched that phenomenon? Every grocery store, every hardware store, everything. Why is that? Is that because of the increased demand, or is that what's contributing to the increased demand, or both?
Well, maybe both, because I think there's no doubt about it. There's a big increased demand, and it's really showed up over the last few years where I really saw it take off again. And but I think the fact that you can walk right into your drugstore and there's a beautiful plant right in the front door that you can't resist, that's got to be contributing as well.
Well, I saw this story today, and Joe thought it would be a good idea to ask you about it. What is this tomato game changer they're talking about, Joe?
They're talking about a tomato that likes light for 24 hours a day. This tomato never needs any darkness, so they can...
Do plants need darkness? Do they need a time at night, usually?
Yeah. Just about every plant I've ever seen, anything I've ever grown, because I grow a million things out under lights in my garage.
What are you growing under lights?
I'm always wondering if the police are going to come in the middle of winter and go, What do you have in there?
Cisco, leave him alone. Yeah.
I'd be that happy.
Even if you did, they'd be like Tommy Chong. They would. Oh, actually, they did bother him. Joe,
this stuff scares me a little. And
this is tomatoes we're talking about.
Yeah, this is tomatoes, but it's Monsanto, and they're coming up with a way to make a kind of a Frankenstein tomato plant that never needs a break, so you can like pump them out quicker. Your tomatoes will be bigger, but
where are you on the whole genetic engineering thing?
I don't like it personally.
So you would like a regular tomato that needs to take a nap?
Yeah, I don't mind hybriding. I think that's really fun, and it's been going on for centuries, where you take the pollen from one plant, stick it on the stigma.
Because that can happen in nature too.
Yeah,
you're breeding for good characteristics.
Naturally.
So
imagine we had a 6'4" Cisco who never needed to sleep. All day
that
long.
Is me.
I'm telling you, big, powerful.
Ooh la la! 24 hours a day.
The only reason you don't know I'm that tall is because Megan is 6'9".
I bet you don't sleep much. You strike me as the type that your motor's running pretty high most of the time.
It's running hot, but I get up every morning and go for a good hard walk at 5 in the morning. So I got to get some sleep, or I can't get up at 5.
Tell you what I won't be doing next week. Good hard walk at 5 in the morning. All right, Cisco, you and Megan are such an incredible team, and I have to say this because we were talking about it before. She stepped aside earlier this year to work on other projects, including one that I'm working on, a big charity project. And yet you and Megan are still on television constantly. And the reason is because everything that you recorded, ironically, is what we call in the business an evergreen. In other words, gardening tips don't go, well, that was a 1992 gardening tip. Plants have changed what they like. So everything you made is good forever.
Well, I think it is because gardening doesn't really change that much. I mean, there's new discoveries and things, but the general gardening that you do stays pretty steady most of the time.
So you and Megan, your body of work, I mean, you're like that guy who painted on PBS. They can continue. Not that you're still here and you'll be here for a long time, but you know what I mean. They can run it forever.
Yeah, the only problem is I hope they don't do what they did last time we did some reruns. They kept showing Megan when she was pregnant, and I got at least 50 emails asking me how many kids she has now.
She's got 13 kids now.
That woman never stops. She's fertile.
Are you guys still friends? You see each
we're
other?
best buddies. Oh yeah. We'll be best buddies forever.
She's the greatest.
She's really terrific. You know, working with her was such a pleasure, and I miss the living Tweedle out of working with her now, you know.
What is a living Tweedle, and can I grow it inside or should it be outside?
Tweedle is the F word when the mics are turned off.
Oh, I see. So, all right, Cisco, now I have a problem. We're going to actually bring up a guest, and this is someone you probably know from the WSU Extension Master Gardener Program. She's the coordinator. Her name is Elaine Anderson.
Oh, yeah, I know Elaine really well.
Let me tell you a little bit of this story, because I always have a personal reason. I like to help other people by showing them how I do stuff. And when it comes to gardening, I don't know what I'm doing, like a lot of people. And you learn, I think you learn by making mistakes and then learning from them. In fact, that's kind of just how you learn stuff in life.
Yep.
You've heard of ready, aim, fire? I operate by a whole different philosophy. Ready, fire, aim. What did I do wrong? Let's aim differently next time.
Made a career.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Because my wife's this way too. We just throw stuff in a pot. If it doesn't work, we don't weep over it. It's a plant, for crying out loud.
That is the right theory.
It's the right attitude, isn't it? Like my friends of mine were starting a garden. They were all nervous. I was like, the only thing you should care about with your garden is that whatever you didn't get right this year, you learn a little from and try to do better next year.
Yep.
Well, I know we've got a guest coming, but I finally want to get into gardening. You guys, I want to plant something.
I know what he's doing.
I want to plant something. A good friend of mine. Do I need to dig 6 feet down to put him in the ground?
Is 3 feet good enough?
I don't know, how big is he?
He's really sick of me.
Six
I don't know. Stand up, Bob.
I'm 6 foot tall.
tall.
And
I
how
think
long
you
will the
better dig it
composting
deep.
take? Yeah, really deep. So, so here's what happened, and I don't know. Maybe we're gonna have trouble getting Elaine up. If we have trouble getting her up, we'll promote her the heck out of her, because the website and what Elaine does is out there for everybody. Cisco would like you to call him at home. Probably not.
Not too often.
Do you get? By the way, do people come up to you on the street all the time, like a doctor, show you their rash?
I can't go anywhere without people asking questions. And the other day, 1 o'clock in the morning, I walk into a grocery store. This old guy looks at me and goes, "You murdered my plant."
Oh, he was blaming it on you.
It was actually really funny. But
and what do you remember what you had done?
no, but he followed my advice perfectly. That's all I remember.
Oh, and it didn't work out.
wasn't his fault.
Sometimes it doesn't, no matter what you do.
That's right.
All right, so here is my dilemma. I, as you know, love blueberries,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
and I planted a lot of blueberries. And I had read that the easy, simple solution for blueberries is to just put rhodey food on them, because blueberries like high acid soil, just like rhododendrons. And I think I heard that on your show.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And because actually Lisa told me, Cisco has a blueberry, and it was last week, but it was a rerun. Well, we did something wrong.
Oh.
My wife also likes this fish fertilizer, which is Alaska fish fertilizer, because everything we put it on turns incredibly green.
It's good stuff.
Well, I think she put that on the blueberries and the rhododendron food. And what happened this year is they came up with lots of green leaves and hardly any blueberries.
Oh. Yeah, if that was high nitrogen fish fertilizer.
A little too much
big
nitrogen.
trouble. Yeah.
Plus, so who knows? So I called Elaine. Elaine Anderson is the WSU Extension Master Gardener Program Coordinator. From her website, And what they do, and she helps you figure this out. They told me to, and anybody can do this. They have free soil testing. You mail in a bag of dirt. By the way, don't mail your bag of dirt to me if you think I'm a bag of dirt. But you mail in a bag of dirt, and they give you all the results. And then a master gardener, could be you. Are you you're a master gardener?
I'm a master gardener, yeah.
Are you part of that program? Or?
Yeah, but I'm kind of an honorary master gardener
Yeah.
now. You know, but I did for years.
You did do that, because master gardeners give back to the community, and for free, they call people back, right? And a master gardener will email you or call you and help you with your problem. Now, I'm in the process now. We tested the dirt, but I'll tell you what we found with the dirt. Blueberries like a pH between 4 and 5.
Down there, yeah.
Really high acid. I just said high acid. I had a flashback. Anyway, it was around 7.
Oh yeah,
7
that's
to 7.5.
really high for because blueberries, like you said, are in the rhododendron family, so that wouldn't work good.
So my question, which I will get answered on the website, I'll put you on the spot and ask you here. I found out, and I think on your program, that blueberries set their flowers for next year's blueberries in the fall.
Yeah, so you don't want to be pruning those. You can prune them in the winter, but you don't want to whack them way down or anything. Then you're not going to get any.
Then you're not going to get any blueberries. So, but as far as raising the acidity of my soil, it feels like I should be doing it maybe Monday as soon as I'm off work, that I should do something. What's the fastest, safest way to make the soil more acid?
Well, I'm not sure. I'm positive I know on this, but I would say, some kind of sulfur products. So maybe it's going to be.
There are various sulfur products out there.
Yeah, there are.
Okay.
So Epsom salts is my guess is probably what would get recommended.
I have read about that. All right. Now let's let some listeners call and say hi. Would you like to say hi?
Oh, I'd be delighted.
Yeah. Here's the studio line. It's 877-901-0957. Gardening with Cisco. He will not recommend a particular grow light. He will not talk about various kinds of kush, right?
I've got a whole basement full of really fuzzy purple tomatoes.
Plenty of legal places to find out that stuff now.
I'm sure you get this all the time.
By the
What
way,
extension cord should I run to my neighbor's house to jack power from him?
I should mention I've never been stumped once yet
Really?
in my life.
Let's see what happens.
Not once. Anyway.
Jeff, hello. Where are you calling from?
Medina today. Hi, guys.
Hi, Jeff. What's up?
Well, for one, happy birthday, Joe.
Thank you, Jeff.
And, Cisco, I listen to you every Saturday when I'm mowing the church at my lawn.
Oh, cool.
Thank you for doing that. And keep it up, mister, because you are fun and entertaining. But I have a home here in Medina that I've had to repeatedly replace astilbes. They're getting water, and they just are not happy for some reason.
So you're killing a plant over and over again. You keep replacing it, and the next one dies too.
Yeah. So I'm wondering if this is a trend with astilbes at all, because I've never noticed this before, and if you would have any suggestions on maybe some soil conditions or fertilizing or any kind of tips for me so I don't have to keep charging these people for new plants.
Okay, I do throw Brussels sprouts at anyone who stumps me, so you're lucky you're not here in the studio. Hey, my astilbe doesn't have any problem that I know of. For people who don't know what it is, it's this really cool perennial flower that likes really moist soil, and they like shade. Are yours in the sun?
No, we are in a yard full of cedars. So
I know what it is. Even though you're watering your astilbe, those cedars are getting every drop of water. Those roots go out. They're so thick, it's unbelievable. They suck up every bit of moisture.
Cedars are gluttonous for water.
They're gluttons for water.
Wow.
And so you can't water enough. Those astilbes are, so what you have to do is you'd have to water them like twice a day, then you can grow astilbes. You can't work. You can't do anything else.
You got to quit your job
grow astilbes.
and become the plant's caretaker.
Yeah, you might want to.
You know how they do all these new installs here with these people who like to do this. They just jam a bunch of plants into a big area and just let them go. And so it's overcrowded, and that could make a lot of sense that these cedars are sucking all that stuff up.
Yeah. So you got to find plants. You got to find plants that like dry soil. It's things like trilliums and There's a lot of cool plants.
Either try a different plant or give the cedars a warning. And use a Tony Soprano kind of voice when you go by the cedars. Go.
It'd be a shame if I were to come over there and all of a sudden you lose a limb or something. I'm just
Yeah.
saying. I got a bag of copper
Thank you
nails.
very
I'm
much.
not afraid to use them.
A couple other questions for Cisco. Fox in West Seattle. Go ahead.
Hey, first off, I wanted to say, Bob, I think you guys are fabulous, and I'm going to miss you terribly.
Thank you.
And I called in the other day and didn't get a chance to talk to you, but one of my top 10 would be your talent search for local talent, like the didgeridoo guy.
Oh gosh, that was so much fun. And who is giving the didgeridoo its due?
Yeah, Blake Noble. Blake Noble, great artist.
Nobody but you.
You bet.
All right, and now do you have a question for Cisco?
I do. Mr. Cisco, you're terrific, and I love watching you. And I was wondering, what would you suggest to make starts from my wisteria plant?
Well,
I'm making new ones.
Okay, I think the easiest way to make a new wisteria, by the way, I don't know why anyone would want more than one wisteria. Oh my gosh, I have
They
a
do grow like crazy, yeah.
relationship with mine. It keeps trying to rip my neighbor's garage roof off. But anyway, take one of those vines, there's always some that grow off the bottom. Take one of those vines, let it grow a ways, and bury the middle part of it underground. Just
and it'll shoot out roots?
It'll root.
Wow.
It'll root in
It's
no
easy
time.
to root them too, isn't it?
Yeah, oh my gosh. You just cut that off and plant it in a new spot and start making another area of the garden become the biggest trouble spot in your whole garden.
Cisco doesn't really endorse this idea, but that's how you do it.
Geez, those are hard work.
Yeah.
Well, my aunt loves the color of my wisteria and just got a new place out on the peninsula, so I was wondering how I could make
Oh,
one
I see.
for
You're
her.
going to give her some because she doesn't have any.
Yeah, tell her only allow like 3 or 4 to grow up the stanchion that you're going to have it grow up. And they all bend a certain way, so make sure that you tie it on the stanchion the way it bends. Otherwise, it'll rip the stanchion down and tie you to it. That's
They're like boa constrictors.
oh, geez, you should see the one at my house. It's just totally destroying the arbor it's on, but I still love that thing.
Thank you, Fox. Peggy and Linwood, go ahead.
Hi, how are you?
Good.
Bob, I just want to tell you that I love you and I'm going to miss you so much. Every day I listen to you on my way to work. And I'll see you this weekend at the Taste of Edmonds.
Please come by. Thank you.
Okay, great. And for Cisco, I have a question about how can you use the ash from your wood stove or fireplace? Is there like something that you can use it for in your garden?
Oh, yeah. It's really high in potash, which makes sense. And that's the second number on, or the third number on the bag of fertilizer you buy. So they say you shouldn't use more than about 10 pounds per 1,000 square feet. That's a lot of ash. And probably only do it once a year around different plants. You can work that into the soil. But I got to warn you, there's something bad about it. It kills worms. So, so you know what? It might be better just to get rid of that stuff than use it in the garden. You can do it, but it might be better just to send it out.
It's got a side effect that's not great.
It's got a side effect.
I've heard that about lots of...
That's great advice. I appreciate it. Thanks. That's great.
Thank you, Peggy. I've heard that about lots of different fertilizer tricks. Like you might want to be thinking about the long-term and second-order effects of them, too.
Yeah, people thought that coffee would kill slugs. And everybody got all excited about using coffee.
Did you say
First
slugs?
of all,
He said slugs. I think he
He
meant.
said
Everybody heard him say slugs. Coffee does not kill slugs.
It
It
does-
makes them energetic.
It
That's
energizes
right. It just
them.
wires them up. They eat more.
Never shut up.
All right, quickly. I don't have time to take the calls. When do you prune a tree? The peony? A tree peony? Is there a tree peony?
Yeah, tree peonies are incredible, and I've had some that get 12 feet tall, but most don't get that tall. But they have flowers the size of dinner plates, and you prune those as soon as they're done blooming.
Okay.
And you cut to a node down a ways.
And then the other one was someone had a lilac die suddenly. Just died suddenly. Any idea why that would happen?
Yeah, they're soil-borne funguses.
Oh.
Yeah, and they're really horrible. So if your lilac dies suddenly, you can't plant another lilac
Not
in
right
that
away.
spot.
Or ever?
Probably ever.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
All right.
I just want to say, Cisco, I'm not a gardener, but I'm a big fan of radio, and you, sir, are the best. You're the most naturally talented broadcaster I think I've ever heard. I've driven to Costco so many Saturdays listening to you give gardening advice, and it's just a pleasure to hear you talk about anything. I mean, if you wanted to do books on tape about anything, I'd buy it because this
true.
dude is the best. Right?
Romance novels?
This guy,
Ooh la la.
yeah,
Yes.
this guy is the
50
most
Shades of-
naturally
Yep.
talented broadcaster in this town, right
50
here.
Shades of Green. I'm telling you.
50 Shades of Green.
Yeah.
You should try that.
Yep. Plant porn.
Cisco Morris. Cisco, thank you very much for being one of our
so
final
great.
guests.
And
It's great to have
hey,
you.
I'm wishing you the total best in your new adventures and challenges.
All right. Elaine probably got sidetracked this morning, but we're going to post a link today to Elaine Anderson, the Gardener Program Coordinator, the Massner Gardener Program Coordinator. And if you have any issues, that you really want to get scientific about the soil and all of that, they have a webpage. We'll link you to it, and you can get answers. Master Gardeners will get right back to you. Also, quick reminder, it is the Hike-a-thon month. The other day we had Tammy on. We were talking about my Hike-a-thon team. A whole bunch of listeners registered to have me carry them up the mountain. And what I will be